There's a DC superhero whose power is so catastrophically useless that even DC Comics seems embarrassed he exists. His name is Arm Fall-Off Boy, and yes, his superpower is exactly what it sounds like. He can detach his own limbs and use them as weapons. That's it. No regeneration, no explosive arms, just armlessness. And today, we're diving into why this character represents everything that can go wrong when creating a superhero. But stick with me, because the reasons he's terrible reveal something fascinating about what actually makes heroes compelling. Floyd Belkin first appeared in 1989 during a Legion of Superheroes storyline. The Legion is DC's team of the most powerful teenage heroes from the 30th century. They hold tryouts. Floyd showed up, demonstrated his ability to remove his own arm, and was immediately rejected. The writers created him as a joke, a literal parody of terrible superhero concepts. But here's the thing, he keeps appearing. Different continuities, different storylines, always as this bizarre reminder that not every powered individual deserves a cape. Now you might think, okay, ridiculous name aside, maybe the power could work tactically. Maybe he's like a Swiss Army knife of detachable limbs. Maybe there's strategy involved. Nope, he just removes his arms and becomes objectively worse at fighting. He literally disarms himself. Every time he uses his power, he becomes less capable, not more. But here's where it gets interesting. Arm Fall-Off Boy's failure reveals the three fundamental rules every compelling superhero must follow, rules that psychologists and storytelling experts have actually studied. Dr. Robin Rosenberg, a clinical psychologist specializing in superhero psychology, explains that compelling heroes need powers that create aspirational identification. We need to want their abilities while relating to their struggles. Nobody wants to rip their arm off. In 2014, researchers at the University of California analyzed what makes certain superheroes culturally enduring. They identified three critical factors: agency, coherence, and meaningful cost. Agency means the power increases your ability to act. Floyd's power decreases his agency. He becomes armless. Coherence means the power makes sense within the story's rules. Why would evolution or any accident produce this specific ability? And meaningful cost means there's a price to using the power, but not one that makes it completely worthless. Arm Fall-Off Boy fails all three spectacularly. But here's what gets me about Floyd Belkin. There's something genuinely tragic about his story. Imagine being him. You're born in the 30th century, surrounded by people who can control gravity, phase through walls, or fly at light speed. You discover you have a power too. You're not completely ordinary. Maybe, just maybe, you could be a hero. You show up to the Legion tryouts, you're nervous but hopeful, and then you demonstrate your ability. The room goes silent, not in awe, in confusion. Maybe someone laughs. You're rejected on the spot. Floyd represents every person who's discovered their special talent doesn't matter in the real world. He's the gifted artist in a family of doctors, the passionate musician who can't pay rent. The meta-commentary writes itself. What makes Arm Fall-Off Boy fascinating isn't just that he's bad, it's that DC keeps bringing him back. Why? Because he serves a purpose in the DC universe that actually matters. He's the reality check. Not everyone with powers becomes Superman. Some people get the short end of the evolutionary stick. Some mutations are just weird. Not helpful, not cool, just weird. This reflects something true about our world. We're obsessed with the idea that everyone has a special gift, a unique talent that makes them extraordinary. But what if your gift is genuinely useless? What if you're special in a way that doesn't help anyone, including yourself? Modern superhero stories often ignore this. Every mutant in the X-Men has cinematically viable powers. Every hero in the MCU has abilities that look great on screen. But statistically, if powers existed, most would be mundane or actively inconvenient. Someone would probably get the power to make bread slightly stale. Someone else might be able to change traffic lights, but only red to yellow, never to green. Arm Fall Off Boy is the worst DC superhero, not because the writers failed, but because they succeeded at something different. They created a character who embodies the uncomfortable truth that being special doesn't guarantee being useful. Floyd Belkin is every person who's been told they're unique, only to discover the world doesn't care about their particular brand of uniqueness. He's the cosmic joke and the tragedy wrapped into one armless package. And maybe that's why DC keeps bringing him back, not to laugh at him, though we definitely do, but because he reminds us that heroism isn't about the power you're given, it's about what you do with it, even if what you're given is objectively, hilariously, cosmically terrible. So next time you're feeling inadequate, remember, at least your special talent probably isn't self-mutilation. Thanks for watching.